you want to. She want to know if she can clean the kitchen up, pretty much. You want that? She said she gonna come down and put it in there. All right. Doing the rate dance. Alright, balling with the guru. Episode 6, but we in week 6 right now. After 7 weeks of football here, we had some interesting things going on in each division right now, man. At one point, the Browns were 4-0 in the division with the Bengals, who's playing really good football right now. These guys are turned that team around fast. You know, after a season of off season for them, and now they into their first full season right now. They are 5-2 right now, and we have a 3-way tie after, you know, it was a shaky start for the Ravens. The Bengals started off hot and the Browns started off hot, and then it came down to now 3 out of the 4 teams over here all have a 5-2 record right now in the AFC North right now. That's not the only division that's doing big things right now. We continue on and we look at the standings. You know, we'll get into the BCS top 10 first. We won't spend as much time individually talking about each team that's in that rankings, but when we do the BCS, we're back to our normal flow of things where GETA does the top 10 right now. So we'll start with the Broncos right now. They're the number 1 seed and the only remaining undefeated team in the league right now. Let's talk about it. Let's get to it. 7-0 Broncos, and Coach Jimbo got his team flying high right now. GETA.
Definitely.
At the second seed, you had the Buccaneers, man, who are, you know, after the loss they took to the Chicago Bears, haven't lost a game since, and they won some big time games, beating the Ravens and the LA Chargers in the process of that, with a big time win last week where they put out a donut on the Falcons, scored 70 plus. They're 6-1 right now at the top of the NFC. So there are 2 AFC and NFC teams right now. Now behind that is number 3. You want to continue from here. The Bills are sitting at 3. Coach Hoodie, do you feel like they got some big ones under their belts early on?
Yeah, their only loss came in the division game, and 3-1 at home. Their only loss was at home, so they're pretty successful on the road at 2-0.
Right. Yeah, I like it. You know, they lost to the Dolphins and then came back in a short week and beat the Dolphins to get ourselves a 5-1 start on the year. Now, the team that I was talking about, the new coach, Anton Bengals, Cincinnati Bengals, man. We starting to get that Browns-Bengals feeling back where I was calling them dirty-ass Ohio. We starting to get some rivalry games going on in the AFC North, looking like the black and blue division again. Anton's sitting here. I mean, they did just take a tough loss, man. This game was, defensive game all throughout. I was bitching, complaining the whole game. We was able to pull a win out, and they, took us down to the wire. But the Bengals are at 5-2 right now. Are you surprised that the new coach Bengals are sitting at 5-2?
No.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. I'm not surprised at all. I think they, I think they play well enough to actually be at 5-2. Again, we know they have a really good coach over there, so they're adding stuff over there. They're doing things. They're getting familiar with their team, and they're the number 4 ranked team in the league right now in our top 10. Cowboys. Cowboys took a huge loss to the Philadelphia Eagles. Giving up a 50 burger in that game, only kicking a field goal. They're number 3 right now. number 5 in this on the BCS board right now. At 5-1 right now. Now, although that loss was really, man, the Eagles came through and did a number on the Cowboys, but obviously they're still 5 in the rankings. How bad does that loss, haunt them at all? Like, they back on a 1-game winning streak. It doesn't seem like it affected them. Right?
It doesn't haunt them. It was a revenge game for the Eagles. The Cowboys won at home the first matchup. Eagles win at home the second matchup.
Right.
The score really doesn't surprise me. I kind of knew the Eagles would come out prepared the second time around. They didn't let a lot of mistakes they made the first game happen the second game.
Right. When you clean up your mistakes and you capitalize off the things that you did well in your first matchup, and you add to it, and then like you said, less mistakes can turn into something. I did not see the Cowboys only scoring 3 points in this game, in that Eagles game. I did not see that coming whatsoever, but things happen, man. The Cowboys are flying high. They're chasing their game down. I think if they'd have just chilled and let that game get played the next day, maybe they don't get a 50 burger put on them. But they still number 5 in this league. At the end of the day, they only have 1 loss right now. Number 6 in the BCS is the football team. Now, you guys just came off of a game against the divisional New York Giants right now, another rival game right now. What was that score? 48-21, I think it was.
42-28.
Yeah, 42-28 right now. Giving you your not your first loss, but your second loss of the season, but it puts you on your on a
second division loss. So.
Second division loss. Cowboys and the Giants, right?
Cowboys and the Giants. Yeah.
All right. Well, we know your division is interesting. We already know it's the best division of football right now, and your 2 losses come within that division right now. Do you feel like that's a problem for the football team right now? The games lost right now are divisional games.
No, that first game, that week 1, I don't put too much onus on the first week game after the draft. This game, it was a little nip and tuck game. I made a mistake early and couldn't bounce back, but it was a pretty good game. We fought back. That's all I like to see, my team fight back.
No doubt. All right, so now I don't know if this is going to change once we advance right now, but you're still the number 6 team at 5-2. With number 7, it puts us at the New England Patriots, who just took a loss to the Kansas City Chiefs. How about Coach Nano and his Patriot team sitting at 7? How you feel about that team?
I think they right where they should be coming into the season. They're trying to put their pieces together, trying to put this puzzle together. They're looking pretty strong. They undefeated on the road, so it seems like home is a problem for them.
So you think when they play at home, they
Yeah, they 1-2 at home,
1-2 at home,
3-0 on the road.
How does that happen? How do you see that to happen where they go out on the road, they do their job out on the road, but at home they're not? You think they can get, relaxed?
I think it's about being focused, being at home, and on the road, you had nothing but the locked in when you're on the road, but when you get off the plane, when you get to the hotel, when you at home, you coming straight from your house,
Right,
straight from the club, maybe. You know they
Yeah.
like to party in Boston.
Your regimen a little different from home and the road games, 100%. Well, the number 8 ranked team on this list is the Dolphins. So we got three AFC East teams sitting on in the top 10 right now. Um, let's talk about it. The Dolphins, I think they're sitting right where they need to be at.
Yeah, they're another team that's right on schedule for where they should be at this time of the season. This AFC East is looking real strong, looking kind of like the NFC East, you know, with the three players in the top 10. You know, he already knocked off the Bills, and the Bills come right back and knock him off. So we're just looking for a matchup between the Bills and the Patriots and the other team over there.
No doubt, no doubt. I think they stay uncomfortable, especially at a 4-2 record. There's only a game separating these guys in that division. Like you said, 3 teams strong over there. 3 teams are in the top 10 right now. And then the other team that got 3 in the top 10 right now are the AFC North right now. And the next team is the Browns. So speak on the 5-2 Browns.
Dirty Ohio.
Dirty as Ohio back in effect, boy.
It's another team that's undefeated on the road, and their only 2 losses are at home. We're seeing a little trend here, not being able to take care of home.
Yeah, that's where the games you gotta better take care of your home games. I just think it's a comfort zone, man. You come in, you're not expecting the team to come in and do what they do right now, and then you go to the 10th team on this list right now, are the Baltimore Ravens at number 10, 5-2. Speak on.
I need to repeat myself again. Another team that can't take care of home. 3-2 at home.
Why do you think the teams that are home losing right now? Like, why are they losing their home games but getting on the road and handling business right now?
It's more about, you know, focus, locking in when you're at home. You put on them dark jerseys, and you just play different. You want to amp up the crowd. You playing for the crowd instead of paying attention to what's going on the field. You know.
Yeah. I definitely agree. I think we played enough football now to start kind of looking at stats and see what's going on. Not going to, we're too early before we can get the award race, but we can get over here to the stats and see who's doing what, when, where, and how when it comes down to producing on the field right now. So let's get into that first, and let's see who our stat leaders are at the quarterback position right now. In the passing game, you got Kyler Murray is leading the league again. He's back at it, 2,619 yards passing. He's number 1. Your number 2 player is Dan Marino Jr. You got Elijah Manning at 3, Fields at 4, and Josh Allen are at 5. Now that's your top 5. Let's talk about these top 5 quarterbacks right now. Obviously, we're not surprised that Kyler Murray has 33 touchdowns versus 9 interceptions on the season and almost 3,000 yards in 6 games. Why is he playing such good football right now?
He got a great leadership in the dugout. You know, it's a quality organization. His players are real familiar with the quarterback, and the quarterback's real familiar with the playbook. So it all goes hand in hand.
All right, they got the MVP in the backfield, the diaper dandy from last year, hit to Israel, right? But they also traded Tyson Williams. They also traded 2 offensive linemen. You think that's the reason why we're starting to see Kyler Murray, back at, the forefront of this team, where they kind of relied on the running game and got the diaper dandy going last year. It looked like he led their offense, but now Kyler's back in control. Do you think the trade has something to do with that?
Yeah, he cutting down on the amount of spread. It's just more of a focused, condensed offense now. You got the quarterback, 1 running back, and maybe 1 or 2 wide receivers and the tight end.
Right. So the weapons spread around is a little different now. They just focusing on what's ahead of them
on the few weapons instead of, less is more.
All right, so we saw Dan Marino and their offense bring in another diaper dandy. They got the shortest wide receiver tandem group in the league right now, but they've definitely got speed over there. You think that, bringing in that scat back type receiver, great slot receiver they brought in, the diaper dandy. You think that's just helping their play, or did we see this coming? Me personally, I think I saw Dan Marino Jr. last year showing that he was about to be one of them, top premier throwers in the league. In that offense, and right now he's number 2 behind the best quarterback in the league right now. Is he making a case?
Aired out offense in Miami, they like them little fast wide receivers down there. Kind of like the Kansas City Chiefs. They just like those catch the slant and take an 80-yard type wide receiver.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I think Marino's on a rise. I think he's on a rise to be spoken about as one of the premier quarterbacks in the league. It's still, he's in his 4th season right now. He has 4 strong seasons behind his belt. This is season 5 right now. I think how he finishes this season will determine where we place him when it comes down to the Game of Thrones greatness when it comes down to quarterbacks. Elijah Manning is back in the mix, right? 3rd on this list right now, throwing to a whole bunch of new weapons right now at 71%. He seems to still be doing the same thing he's been doing his entire career as a starter. 29 touchdowns versus 5 interceptions, 345.9 yards a game right now. Let's talk about it. Why are we still seeing him play at a high level, although he got some new players on that offense right now? That whole offense is revamped right now.
New players, same scheme. They got a great coaching staff over there. They go over film work, and they get the players to buy in when it's time to be in the class. Everyone's learning the playbook on the express level. They picking it up pretty fast, and it shows when they come line up on the field, and Elijah Manning is calling audibles at the line.
Yes, sir. He's playing at a high level. He's the reason why his team is winning the way they are. The farther he goes, the better this team goes. Simple as that. Now, here's the name. He's finished 5 years. He has a Super Bowl championship under his belt. But he's been a quarterback that's been very quiet in this league right now. For him to be the number 4 quarterback early often right now with 2,202 yards, 17 touchdowns, 11 picks, 65%, 314 on the ground. In the air right now, throwing the ball, 112.6 QB rating. Justin Fields. Are you surprised to see him in the top 5 right now?
No, not really. They got a kind of a balanced offense over there in Chicago. They run a little, pass a lot, and Justin Fields takes advantage of that when he rolls out right.
Right. Roll a rally. Josh Allen, he was reborn last year. He's back on this list as well with 19 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 70% on the year right now. I think with Josh Allen, you'll see him up and down this top 10. I don't think he'll drop under top 5 though. I think he solidified in what he does. They added another weapon to their arsenal as well, and as long as he has that cannon, he will be flinging that thing around the park. Trey Lance is on the list right now, 2,115 yards passing, 21 touchdowns, 9 picks. Now this is the Trey Lance we looking to see. 21 touchdowns versus 9 interceptions. He's usually throwing more interceptions than touchdowns. So at 65%, he's throwing for 300 yards a game. Do you think that now, the everything's starting to add up for this offense? The coach,
the scheme, 49ers are definitely figuring it out on offense. After so many matchups with the teams in their division, I think they're finally putting it all together on what they need to do to try to take down these Cardinals.
Yes, sir, and that's their whole movement. Everything they got to do is to be able to, dethrone the Cardinals from that division title every year. So he's heading in the right direction right now. Pat Mahomes is back in the mix right now. In season number 9, this will be his 10th season once he's completing it. He just got a big win over the Patriots right now. Pat is back. Can we say that? 20 touchdowns, 14 picks, 64%.
Yeah, definitely. I think the Chiefs are definitely putting it in lock-in mode right now. They're trying to rekindle that flame they had a few seasons ago. Maybe make it to a playoff and a little bit further.
Yeah, Hitter, man, what you seen over here was a transition. And when you dealing with a transition, and you going from your comfort zone. Patrick Mahomes has some of the best weapons a quarterback could possibly want, and Kelsey and Reek and Hardman and the speed over there. But they transitioned to a whole new receiver group and tight ends. The only thing that remained the same was Patrick Mahomes right now. I think what you're seeing now is a quarterback and a coach who understands the talent that he has around him, and you're about to see the 2.0 of the Kansas City Chiefs with the Tyreek Hill shit. They have that type of speed, but they got the size with that speed now at the receiver position. I think that's going to play a big difference. And then at the same time, they do have a really fast running back in the backfield over there in Kansas City. So I think we're going to see some, Patrick Mahomes, as long as those games are played by the coach. I think we're going to see him in the mix going forward right now. Now, the only undefeated coach and quarterback that's on this list is Kellen Mond right now. 22 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, a little percentage under 70 right now. Kellen Mond. It seems like he just keep getting better as the years go.
Yeah, I think the coaches didn't put too much on his plate. They did just put enough for him to feed. Like hand out little bits and pieces here and there, and let everybody eat on this offense, and it's showing. It's paying dividends.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, there we go. Quarterbacks right now that's leading in the passing stats right now. We're going to go just to continue to look at them and see who's throwing the most touchdowns. And it starts with Kyler Murray, 33, Elijah Manning, 29, Kellen Mond, 22, Marino, 21, tied with Trey Lance. And then there's the 20 boys, Mahomes and Stan up here with 20. Branch, Allen, and Cake all have 19 touchdowns as well. Let's get to the rushing attack right now. Let's talk about the carries right now. Who's carrying the ball the most? Obviously, it's the newcomer over there, Jaleel Ruggs, with 171 carries. Antonio Gibson is getting the carries over there for the New York Jets right now at 161. Harold Street, 154. Nick Chubb, 136. And then you got the big boy Deion McCoy with 130 as well. Bo Jackson with 126. Herrera with 125. And Bass. Names that we haven't really been seeing or hearing from is on this list with carries now, right now, and that's shout out to the #1 pick back in that draft class a couple of drafts ago, Tremaine Bass at a 4.9 in the clip. You see Howard Street from that same class up there balling out right now. Now yards wise, we already have guys in the 1,000-yard back situations right now. Ruggs and Streets, 2 from the NFC South, 1286 from Jaleel Ruggs, and Harold Streets has 1223 right now with ETN right behind him, 991. It hits Israel with 959. Chubb with 804 is the rebirth of Chubb right now.
Yeah, he's definitely always been a staple in this offense, and I think the Browns kind of forgot about him the last couple of seasons. So he said, "I'm still here."
All right. And 5.9 yards to carry right now might be the reason why this team is 5-2. Antonio Gibson leaves Washington football team and goes to the New York Jets, and the Jets got themselves a running back, 11 touchdowns, almost 5 yards to carry right now. Why is he balling out the way he is?
I mean, he's always been special. He just needed the opportunity. When he was in Washington, it wasn't kind of a running back oriented offense. Now he's gone somewhere with a fresh start, and he's being used, and he's showing that he's always been a premier back in this league.
Definitely a premier back, definitely a superstar in this league right now. And sometimes guys just need a shift change, a home change, a city change, just a new start to become great. We're seeing it with Sidney Cake. We're also seeing it with Antonio Gibson right now. So shout out to Coach Brian and the New York Jets right now, playing good football right now. Javonte Williams is here, 8.3 yards a carry. This guy's balling. And then the big back, the factor back, Deion McCoy was 6'2", 240, man, 5 yards a carry right now. All right, so you see guys at week 7 on their way to 1,000 yards right now. Last year we had a little, I don't want to call it, the running game wasn't as crazy as it is again. It's starting to look good again, where you're starting to get these guys, you got some new guys in the building. You're starting to see some guys that were on their way up. Like Street showed us all last year that he was ready to be that guy. He split time with his entire career with White Chocolate and Christian McCaffrey. He's out of there. He went to the Buffalo Bills. They drafted a really good back to to be in his to still give them that 2-back system. And in the process of getting that 2-back system, Streets is still the guy with 154 carries. 12-23 right now. I think we're going to see a nice little rushing race. How about this, though? The NFC South has the leading 2 rushing yard guys right now. Think this is going to be a race the entire year?
Yeah. The Buccaneers are featuring their running back this year, and we all know that the Panthers always had a strong run game.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. ETN stands still saying, "Don't forget about me, my guys." 991, 12 touchdowns. He averaged 8.6 yards a carry, and then hits Israel is back in the fold as well. I mean, 93 carries for almost 1,000 yards says a lot right there. 10.3 yards a carry. 9 touchdowns, man. This kid was special from day one. Do you think the right move for the Cardinals? I think it was the right move to go ahead and let their playoff back go. I think they can rely on Hilton when it comes down to the playoffs. They didn't really have to use him at all last year in the playoffs. They gave him spurts. I think if there's anybody that shows you how to build and how to use a guy, Coach Falke is doing exactly that. For guys to take notes. This kid, I think he will be ready for this team in the playoffs. You know, if they make the playoffs, he'll be there for him. But let me ask you, will you see? You know, they got rid of two good linemen. They got rid of, you know, the player that some might say been an MVP of his entire playoff existence. For the Cardinals right now. Their transition into the hits with no, you know, it's not like it's, you know, hits with the running back of a backup guy like a Tyson Williams. It's just hits. It's the hit show right now. Can this team lean on that and still be successful the way they have been?
Yeah, the Cardinals definitely have a feature back type of offense. You know, a lot of teams in this league have a dual back, and it works for them. I think the Cardinals can and it should be able to execute the feature back offense with within their gameplay. Now the O-line issue might come into play, but it all depends on the adjustments they make week in and week out.
Right. I think it can go one or two ways. It can go, you know, the positive way is one running back in that system might open up that offense even more. With, you know, we saw that with Tyson Williams, but we think this back is a little bit better than Tyson. Now, as far as playoffs, we're yet to see. But like as a back that can, you know, he's been a 1,000-yard receiver at the same time, a 1,000-yard rusher. I mean, a 2,000-yard rusher at that during his MVP campaign. Having that one back, and you know, you don't really gotta. You know, you can lean on him. You're gonna count on him. You have to count on him. You said earlier, you know, they kind of like focusing on, you know, a couple of receivers, the running back, and that's why Collar's who he is right now. But do you think just having that one back in the backfield can, you know, open that passing game up even more?
Yeah, because you're seeing the same players on the field, so everybody's getting familiar with everything. Everybody
Right.
on the field know what they got to do. They know where they have to go. They know where they have to be. They know the blocking scheme. Everybody is locked in, and everybody feeds off each other. Whereas if you plug in a different piece here and there, they might not be familiar with what's going on at that moment. So with you having the same people, the same personnel, always on the field all the time, everybody knows what they have to do.
Yeah, I just think, I mean, at 10.3 yards a carry, you look at this team and you say, you know, you know what the weapons are on the outside. When it comes down to the passing game, you know what they could do. But like at this point, you got the MVP in the backfield. There's no sneaking up on you anymore. Like, how is he still averaging 10.3 yards a carry, and you know he's the feature back?
Because you have to worry about the pass.
It's just the offense is so potent that you just have to worry about it. You have to. You cannot.
You have to.
Yeah, you cannot cheat it. You just can't cheat that offense. I think that makes sense.
You would get ooh baby, you fall asleep.
Fall asleep for sure. All right, let's go look who's getting in the end zone the most right now. I mean, we got a guy already with 24 touchdowns. It's looking like the Ronald Jones of the world right now. He's, you know, 12 touchdowns more than the next guy next to him with 24 touchdowns for Jaleel Ruggs right now. I mean, he got the speed, he has everything you need, the size, all that stuff to be that guy. It's just that watching the changing of the torch, right? The handoff right now, like on a relay race, and the relay race the leg they're on, they're saying, here, Jaleel, it's your turn to close it out right now. Why is this such an easy transition for this coach?
It's JR 2000, you know, like CK 2000 with Chris Johnson. This is the new 2022 version of Chris Johnson. This is Jaleel Ruggs. He's a wide receiver. Got a wide receiver speed at running back. If you ever watched him growing up a few years ago, he was on YouTube. He was from Florida boy with dreads. He's the fastest little kid at 6 years old, and now he's in the league.
I'm saying he's on another one of them Florida kids that, you know, they chase rabbits. That's their off time. They in the fucking field chasing rabbits to get their quickness and speed from that. And he's been doing that since a kid right now. I mean, he has legit track speed. We're talking 4.2 guy. And then you got 4.2 guy in this offense right now. I mean, the woo babies from the run game is definitely there. His longest run already on the year was 77 yards, so he can take shit to the crib from anywhere on the field right now. And he hasn't even touched the surface yet. He hasn't even scratched the surface yet. I definitely will see. You're gonna see him with close to 40 touchdowns and 2,000 yards this year. He might even be in a running for the MVP. We might see two diaper dandies back-to-back years win the MVP race in our league right now. So shout out to them again. Streets with 12, ETN with 12. You got Saint Barkley. All right, let's talk here. 7.7 yards a carry, 12 rushing touchdowns for the new Barkley and New York Giants offense right now. Seems like they found their next back right now with Saint Barkley.
They still run a dual back offense, but he's the first one, and then you got the new veteran in for the
DeAndre Swift over there.
Yeah, Swift.
All right, Antonio Gibson. I spoke on him already. We got Coach Brian. He got his factor back there. Here's it go. 6'1", 228. This guy can run power. You had this back. This was your guy. And that system over there where you're gonna get a whole bunch of power running out of this offense right now. Why is Antonio Gibson having such success right now in that offense?
He's a do-it-all back. He's your elusive back. He's your power back. He's your receiving back. The fact that he's got so many carries and 0 fumbles shows me that he's locked in this season, and he's like, use me.
Right.
That 228 comes into play when you running the ball.
He has a 20-plus carry back on his roster right now, and you're starting to see them use exactly that right now. So I'm going to go down to Boom Jackson right now. Here we go. So do you feel like, through 7 games, has Boom started to get control of what's going on? Did the speed of the NFL slow down for him? And do you feel like he's still in development stage, or he's there now?
He's still in development. He's slowly loading. He's getting there. He's about 65% right now. Still tripping over his feet, trying to cut up in the holes. And then he's got to time his boom. He haven't quite bringing the boom yet, but he's getting there.
23 broken tackles right now on 126 carries right now. Talk about that. You probably haven't had this. Even on Antonio Gibson here, he has 24 for the Jets right now. You really didn't see that in Washington with Gibson, but then Boom is breaking tackles right now. Why is that important?
Because it gives you those extra few yards you might need on 3rd down, 2nd down, 1st. He might be able to run for 10 yards where he got attacked at 5,
Right. Yeah, he's balling right now. Herrera is stepping up too. I think these are the guys you keep your eye on. These are on the watch list. Aaron Herrera in the backfield for the Bengals right now. Ezekiel Stokes, in the backfield for the Patriots right now. Nick Chubb is, back in the mix right now. And then you see Walter Payton Jr. for the Bears right now with 8 touchdowns on the season right now. He had 59.3 yards a game right now. But 7.4 yards a carry. So let's keep an eye on those guys right now. Let's get to the receivers and who's catching the ball the most right now. Reception leaders at this point right now is the running back for the Cincinnati Bengals with 61 out the backfield. They definitely throw the ball to their backs. He had 569, 9.3 yards a carry. He's almost averaging 100 yards a game. As a receiver, at the same time doing a good job running the ball as well. Baby Smooth, 6'3", 195. I have no idea who this guy used to be, but 46 catches on the year right now. Justin Jefferson with 40 catches as well. Here's the kid, the rookie, the diaper dandy, Chris Best, with 39 catches from out of Ohio State for the Buffalo Bills. Mr. Pierre is in the building with 37. And then Isaac Cannon, the best receiver in the draft for the New York Giants, has 37 catches on the year. He's on his way to a 1,000-yard receiving season right now, and he ain't even close to being done. 7 games in, this guy's almost at 1,000. Shout out to what they're doing with that young rookie. And then Eddie Hart. We got some diaper dandies catching the ball over here for our league right now. We got a couple of them up here. Let's go look at the yardage and see who's doing what in the yard standpoint. All right, so Chris Poole still in the mix. He did it last year. He's doing it again. He'll be a 1,000-yard receiver in this next game. So it looks like Baby Smooth will be a 1,000-yard receiver in the next game. And this is the kid I was talking about, Nick Candy, 6'4", 177. If we look at him and we take a look at his ratings right now, X Factor guy right now, we're looking at 97 speed, 97 excel. No, he's not 99, 99 Tyreek. but he has that speed at 6'4" right now. And you start to see like the transition that a guy like Patrick Mahomes is having with these weapons now. Now that he's starting to understand these guys and how to use them, you're starting to see these Chiefs back up in the mix right now. They got some really good receiver targets to go to. I think they're deeper at the receiver position and tight end position than they was when they had the Kelsey and Reek attack. So Nick Candy's here with 939. He'll be 1,000-yard receiver in his next game. Waddle's still in the mix. Jalen Waddle, fourth on this list. As yards wise, 887, and then Mr. Pierre with 817 right now. Let's stop there. Let's talk about these two right now. Last year, Coach Falk made a comment about Jermaine Pierre and how vicious he really was as a receiver right now. Do you think he's starting to gain traction as one of the top dogs in the league?
Definitely. It's just the fact that this is a tight end led offense over there in Charger land. And if he can step up and take some of that shine away, it'll make a big difference going on further into the season.
Yes, sir. I agree. Now Waddle's been on this list. He's always been a top dog at the receiver position right now. 10 touchdowns. He averaged 147.8 yards a game, 28.6 yards a catch. Why is Waddle at this point still damn near unstoppable? What's going on with is he solidified himself as the best receiver in this league?
One of the best wide receivers in the league. Definitely.
You won't call him the best though?
No, I can't call him the best because there's so many. This league is filled with prominent wide receivers, and for you to be the best is a strong title.
All right, because I think like consistency and knowing that you got to stop him and he continue to be leading in yards, receptions, touchdowns all the time up in that top 5, top 3 speaks a lot on who this guy is right now. Or is it a scheme thing?
It's a scheme thing. There's also a philosophy thing. A lot of coaches don't focus in on one player all game, every game, and that takes into account when you're playing every week. You'll see that if you padding stats by just throwing to one person the whole game.
All right, I feel what you're saying right now. All right, so his the way he uses him can be kind of hurt to that conversation of best guy in the league. All right, so we talked about Pierre. How about Isaac Cannon right now? Is he stepping amongst the big boys? He's stumping with the big dogs at this point right now, right?
He's definitely came out the gate running. I just had the opportunity of playing against this guy, and a few routes I thought they wasn't going to look at him. He popped free and wide open touchdown or a sideline catch or a big catch. He's going to be a problem in the league for years to come.
Yeah, he's a young pup too, man. Diaper dandy and but he's seasoned though. He had training amongst the best. I mean, you got family members that've been in the league before you. You're getting trained by the best of the best right now, and I think you're starting to see that. The reason why he's making a transition from high school to college to the NFL so easy is because he's been taught by the best. He's legit. Is he their number 1 receiver at this point?
That's a tough call. Yes, in a sense. Oh God, because he got his plexical over there wet on it. So if you don't look at one, you forget about the other. So it's they feed off each other.
Right. But are you seeing his number being called more than plexical?
Oh.
You really can't tell, right? It's just,
it's just like they set each other up. It's just
they potent it over there. That Giants offense is fucking scary.
You definitely gotta pick your poison.
It's scary. They haven't even touched. I mean, you gotta think about it. It's a reset, right? Where most guys got their shit figured out. He done blew it up and reset, but he brought weapons in that's fucking disgusting, and the fact that you have that quarterback over there that's always showing he's one of those guys, and then you got these weapons around it. It's crazy. This offense probably hasn't even close to reach their potential yet, especially with Isaac Cannon right now. I mean, you're dealing with a 6'6" guy with 96 speed, period. Like, you're dealing with a freak, bro. Like, you saw the Randy Mosses of the world, and this kid's a freak. He takes it to the next level instead of You got Moss. I don't know. Can you come up with a nickname when he go get it? Have you seen him go get it yet? Like where it's like, give me
No,
that.
no,
Not
no.
those yet. Right now, he
I
just
haven't
running
seen
up
him.
under
Yeah,
shit with
he
the
said,
zoom zoom.
yep. Yeah,
Who
he
got the
just.
keys to my beamer? Ooh, he's that guy right now, huh? How about this kid? Justin Jefferson is bringing life back right now with the giddy up that bitch. Like, hey, he has 721 yards, only 4 touchdowns, but he's up here with yards wise. And then you start to see, some role players. Plaxis Burris over here, Mooney up here, bracket. You got guys, Dorian Parker for the Eagles. That's putting out twerk for their team right now. Stankin Franklin's on this list right now. You go to the touchdown guys, 12 for Poole, Candy with 11, Burris with 11, and that's where you're looking at this this Giants football team, and you see both their receivers, their outside guys, with double-digit touchdowns already right now. Smooth was there with 10. You got Waddle, 10, and you also got Isaac, and then John Jenkins. 99 Reasons is always in the mix, and he's still been doing it. Seemed like he's been there forever doing it, doing the same shit every year. Shitting.
Shit, yeah, he's a
Got a new
problem.
name up there. 2 touchdowns away from double digits. F back. Who's that?
That's fuck back. That's the new weapon out there in Arizona Cardinal land. Little short speedster. You can't forget about him because he will walk right by you.
Man, we'll see. I'm not saying his name. I'm gonna the fuck out of that bullshit. Anyway, let's keep it moving. Defense right now, who's up there? Isaiah Simmons, man. Every year a hitter, he's on the top. He's from the beginning to the end. He's somewhere in the mix of the best tackler in the league. Isaiah Simmons, man, true middle linebacker right now. Is it fair to give him that title out now, best linebacker in the league, or just best middle linebacker in the league?
Oh, he might be. Yeah, he might be the best middle linebacker in the league.
Devin Ward. Now remember, I call him the Terminator. This kid been a tackling machine since he stepped into the league for the Chiefs right now. But then we got Swing Wag up here right now. It's 50 tackles on the year. We seen this happening, right? They drafted the young linebacker that shouldn't have went, and it shouldn't have went where he went. He should have been a top 5 pick. We saw him drop in the draft, get picked up by the 49ers, and we ain't expect nothing less but what we seeing right now. Him in the top as a tackler right now. He's a tackling machine, bro, but he's an athlete that can do damn near anything. Cover, play the run, get to the quarterback, to do everything right now. What does this do for the 49ers defense? You already had Nick Bosa show up. You had Leonard show up. So their pass rush, they got 2 guys coming off the edge as dogs. They just solidified their linebacker situation. And they had corners that was up there, trying to step into that shutdown role. Or they had guys with double-digit picks 2 years in a row at the cornerback position. Now they got the man in the middle. Is this team on the uprise?
Yeah, definitely. He's a culture changer. He brings them a complete middle linebacker that they desperately needed. He's the new Isaiah Simmons for the 49ers. Basically.
Man, I fucking agree, bro. I think this is a big time swing. I know we call him Swing Wag, but this is a big time swing for the 49ers right now. This is a shift in balance right now. This is all right. We're tired of. We saw what you're doing. Take a page off. Take a page out of your book, right? But at the same time, now we're gonna go get the best athlete in the draft. Fuck what you screaming about. We're gonna go get this guy, and it's gonna change what we got going on over here. I think they are building their team for their division, and it's not just the division, not for the Rams, not for the Seahawks. It's for the guy that's in that division, which is the GOAT. And that Cardinals 3 Super Bowl championship team over there that won this division all 5 years so far. The 49ers are saying we are not going to keep sitting around letting you do what you do right now. We're getting better, and you better be prepared for that. Is that a message sent to the Cardinals with the type of players they're starting to assemble over here with the 49ers?
It better be. I mean, because that's what you build your team off of. Your division first, and then everything else second. Because if you're not able to win within your division, then
what are we doing?
beating these other teams really doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't at all. What else we doing? My favorite stat on the game is tackle for losses right now. So let's see who's doing what, when, where, and how. All right, we got a new D tackle that just now it's his time. He sat behind guys, red shirted like a year. Now he's starting to ball out. He has 12 of them things right now. Talk about Aubrey Drake.
He's a difference maker in the middle. He beats up on centers and guards all game long. And when he comes in contact with a running back in the backfield, you can't move him.
Right.
He's a baby house, 6'6", 318. He's a force within the middle.
Grown ass man sitting in the middle right now. PJ Leonard for the Steelers right now have 11 tackle for loss, and he's doing that from the defensive end. Hassan Reddick, as a rush outside linebacker, has 10 tackle for losses as well. So that tells me he's playing well in a run game this year. Shout out to Coach Craig and what he got Hassan Reddick. Seems like Hassan been there forever, doing the same shit forever as well. With 4 sacks to go along with it too. All right, Allen Reed, man. When we went over the Seahawks roster, we saw some pieces at that linebacker level. This guy has one of the fastest linebacker groups in the game right now. Now, Allen Reed with 10 tackle for losses coming from off that edge right now. How impressive is that? With Hassan Reddick and Reed both at the outside linebacker. Now we know they usually, they're rush guys. They come get the quarterback, but for them to have, tackle for losses in the run game right now as rush guys right now, how impressive are you with that? Those outside linebackers doing that?
It just shows me how loose their hips are. They're able to take 2 steps back and then come up field once they read the run. And being able to make the tackle once they do that, it's a tremendous asset to have on your defense.
Definitely. Now we all chase speed, right? But Hassan Reddick, Allen Reed, they got it. But the next man over here had it, where we saw, a guy that can play any position really amongst that linebacker group. He can also, if they wanted to, he could be a pass rusher with his hand in the dirt in nickel and dime situations. But he also had that skill set to better drop back and cover passes and play safety, strong or free. How important it is that he has 9 tackle for losses. He's coming from the middle linebacker position, man. That's just speed, right? Speed kills. To be able to get 9 tackle for losses early like that.
That's speed and vision. To be able to see the hole and get through it. To be able to make a tackle behind the line of scrimmage.
His reading reaction time is fucking serious, bro. That reading reaction from that middle linebacker spot is dangerous. We have another middle linebacker, Cedric Kidd, who made a name for himself in his rookie year. He has 9 tackle for losses right now. So guys are doing what they do right now. Not just the D tackles and the interior D linemen that are getting a tackle for losses. You're starting to see, the athletes make plays, and that's what happens when the league gets, we get to season 4, 5, 6, and so on. You start to see the real athletes of the league start to make plays from all over the field right now. Shout out to Cedric Kidd, who has, since he stepped in the league, been a diaper dandy. Now he's a young gunner right now, still balling out. Rock Gray at the D tackle spot, showing off for the Browns right now, and then you got JOK, another outside linebacker with 8. And then we're going to go to the young kid, Dwayne Pierre-Paul, at the D-tackle spot for the Giants right there with 8. So let's go to the sack leaders right now. See who's getting to the quarterback all game long. This shit is ridiculous. We're in week 7, and Montez Sweat has 13, and Roy Farley from the defensive tackle position has 10.5. I mean, what the hell's going on? Why are they getting to the quarterback so early and often?
Just beating their guys, play in and play out. It's just that's what it comes down to. Coming out
Montez
and winning the matchup.
Was on a block, and at one point they was ready to move on from him. They didn't. Y'all brought him back in. Y'all drafted. Y'all did some things to be able to, show him the door, and yet he's held off a young kid and that Falk kid over there that plays defensive end for you guys. Why? Why is he holding him off? And he's been a 20 sack guy. He's on his way to 20 sacks. I mean, if he keep up the pace he's on right now, we might even see 30 sacks out of this guy. What the hell is going on over there in the water in Washington?
You can't deny the man. If he come out on the field and he's performing, it would be a detriment to my defense to take him off the field. He's not giving me no reason to swap him out. I simply can't do it right now. He's playing big in the run, and he's definitely showing off in the pass.
Yes, sir. All right, so when you talk about guys, right, and you talk about guys that draft the right players, or get the good players, the players that you think smoke play. But what happens when is it scheme or is it the Cardinals? What's going on? Why are they always, every year, every dish, no matter what, they have a D tackle that always have double-digit sacks? What are they doing?
Coaching. Great coaching. And practice. When you come to practice and you play good in practice, it shows up in the field. Practice how you play.
What if I say this? They're kicking their opponent's ass so fast, so quick. They score so fast and get up on guys so quick. The momentum of the game changes, and you just can't do shit to their D-line because they keep the momentum on their side. does that play in the fact that he has 10.5 sacks from the D
I
tackle
mean,
position right now?
I've seen a few games where they struggled and had to come back and win. So I wouldn't say they've been dominating their opponents. It's just they finding ways to win, and that goes a long way down the road. I've seen games they down 14, 17, 21 points and be able to fight back and end up winning by 17, 20, 21 points. It's amazing.
When you write in a book and you talk about the Cardinals and you write there, how does that work when you write the story and the whole story is offensively, and then out of nowhere you get a special season of defense, and then you think, okay, that was a special season of defense, and then the next year after that you start to see, wait a minute, well maybe this defense is what it is. They are different, and then now you get into that third season of you looking at their defense and you starting to see it all over again. Like, why are they who they are offensively and defensively in this league? Why are they amongst China? I mean, they're standing in their own realm at this point right now.
I think they have an internal battle in their locker room. The offense think they're better, and the defense think they're better. So they come out on the field and they compete against their own team. They're not even focusing on their opponent. They focus on what the offense is doing. Oh, anything you can do, I can do better.
That's culture. I mean, it starts there. You build the culture first, man. Then you integrity. Then you build the high IQ guys, and then the athletes come. They're athletes. You're drafting the guys the right pieces, but to get them to play at the level that these guys play. I mean, we're looking at 22 starters play at a high level for this team. At any moment, somebody could be the guy that game, offensively and defensively for this team right now. And these guys are they're the model. I would refuse to allow somebody to see anything outside of the blueprint. At the end of the day, you have to celebrate this. At the same time, you have to want to you have to build yourself to want to beat this. You have to build yourself to want to top that. But you have to try to do it. They do things their way, and their way is hard to copy. Because how fast they do things and how quick they adjust to certain things and do things. You cannot sit there and carbon copy what they do over there. So what you have to do is you have to literally, if you're an NFC or AFC team, and you're trying to be elite or be that top guy to beat this team, you have to really do what? Hitter, you got to do something different. Like, what do you do? What do you do to really, how do we capture what they're actually really doing over there without it being, you get the guys that will celebrate this or the guys that find a reason to pick at why he's doing this instead of what it really is, man. Greatness is greatness.
It's greatness. In order to beat them, it has to be the perfect storm. You have to be on your A game, no mistakes, and the Cardinals just fall apart. And when you get your foot on his neck, don't let off. I've seen a lot of coaches let off,
right.
And that's been the difference.
Yeah, it's hard, and they out here doing what they're supposed to do right now. But Justin Smith from the left end position for the Jaguars has 9 sacks as well. So we got 2 guys with double-digit sacks. Guys on their way to double-digit sacks. Where you got Lance Boone for the Texans stepping up with 8. Joey Bosa gets over there to the. Was this a trade or he let him go on free agency and got picked up? 7.5 sacks for the Bears right now. I like this. I didn't know he went to the Bears. I like this a lot right now because they had the one kid I kept calling Baby Khalil Mack, Pat Teller, who was stepping up over there. Now they got Joey Bosa in the building. 10 years in, still at that age, but he's 10 years in. He's still playing at a high level. 7.5 sacks for the Bears right now. How does this help the Bears defense?
Gives them 2 bookends and run threats and pass dominance. So I like it.
Yes, sir. All right, so we see the Texans with 2 defensive ends getting around that end. Both of them with 7 and 7.5 sacks, 8 and from Boone and 7.5 from Gabe Coles right now. And then the next guy left the Vikings in free agency, and the Bucks picked him up and kind of stole this guy. This should have been one of the guys that everybody in the league should have been trying to get on their team, and the Bucks go out and do it again. Every free agency they bring in a guy that they shouldn't be able to bring in, but they do it, and they bring it in. And Thad Carmichael is playing, at a high level for this team. 34 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 7 sacks. They get ourselves another premier pass rusher to go along with the other premier pass rushers on that team, on that defense alone right now. How do you let the rich get richer in this situation?
Rich get richer. you put your goal in the pot and you seal it. You don't let
Simple as
these
that.
type of gems get out.
At all.
But he got them, so he's happy and it's showing.
Yes, sir. Because at this point now, you're like, look, in my career, I've done it all. I've been the guy that had double-digit sacks. You know, I've been the man on my defense. I've been the guy, the leader, all that stuff. The only thing I didn't do was win. And you know, I'm going to a winning tradition. So I think he picked the Bucks just as much as the Bucks went after him. Wanted to go play for a winning organization, and there he goes right now. He's balling out for him right now. Greg Rose, sitting over there with 7. You already know what Bradley Chubb does for this team. Now they got Greg Rose, who's playing well. I'm starting to see this like trending thing. They get a bunch of the guys from the first real draft class. You know, when you turn the game on, you play with the rookies that the game, you know, finally brings on. You know, we already had them in our league through real draft. Now they're really on a game, and the Broncos love those type of players. They just made a move for the receiver Jamar Chase as well, but they love those guys that are, you know, got the real pitchers. They, you know, they're young, that are diaper dandies when you first start the league, and then you start to see them a couple years later. You forgot about them, and then all of a sudden they show up as a Bronco and they start to play at a high level right now. Why is Greg Rose playing well later, you know, midway through his career after season 5?
Because he's been developing those 5 seasons, and
Mm-hmm.
he's ready. You know, you put a roast in the oven. You can't eat it the first 5 minutes. You have to
Right.
let it sit in there for an hour or two. Then it start to marinate, and then when you cut into it, it just falls apart. And that's what it is. Greg Rose is ready.
Yes, sir. He's not over ready. He just ready.
He
Right
ready.
now. He that damn, who made this? You know what I'm saying? Like that's what that is. Who made this? This shit rocking.
That
This
little
ain't
white
that.
thing
Who
in the
fucking
meat,
got this
it
tough
popped
ass?
up. That's what that
Right.
is.
Right, like I don't know, it's really juice coming out of this every time I bite it. What the fuck? Like that's that shit. You right, 100% right. Let me go look at the AFC, see if anybody missing off this list that we didn't see. No sir. All right, no sir. And I'm going to NFC, make sure anybody missing off the list. You know how they do with sacks. Start to forget a guy. There you go, Pat Teller with 8 sacks. We forgot about him. That's the guy I just talked about to go along with the Joey Bosa thing. So they got 2 DNs coming off the edge doing really well. Pat Teller with 7.5. And I mean, it's 8 and 7.5 from Joey Bosa right there. So I had to go show that because they always seem to forget it. Let's get to the interceptions and see who's picking the ball off at a high level right now. And then we have a guy with 8. Marco Wilson goes from the Cardinals and forgotten in that secondary. Gets picked up by the Giants. Becomes one of the Giants' best corners over there and for the New York Giants right now. And he has 8 picks on the year right now. Why is he playing so well?
He's in a great organization with a great defensive back coach. And he give him freedom to roam. You know,
Some guys just, you know, they in their role, they're stuck. Where you know he never was the number 1 guy, number 2 guy. He was stuck, slot, you know, nickel and dime packages, stuck. He gets traded and goes to the New York Giants and for pennies at that. And then he becomes one of their, you know, number 1 or number 2 corner over there, and now he's on the field playing. And the talent that you didn't see that he had in Arizona, you're seeing now because he's on the field playing. I think that's what you're getting out of Marco Wilson, the guy that just didn't have the opportunity to play over there. The Cardinals really never gave him a shot. They moved on from him real fast, brought in other guys that just played well right away, and because of that, he was able to get, you know, go find another home to reside at, and he's balling right now. Cameron Bynum is balling for the Vikings at safety right now with 8 picks on the year right now. You got Terrell Williams, the 6'4" freak, over there for Washington. I don't, you know, if even though he's 6'4", 215, he could play that sub package. I think he stays back a lot in your system, right?
yeah, I took him out of the box this season. He's strictly playing back this year, letting the linebackers do what they do. The linebackers do what the linebackers and the safeties do what the safeties do.
Talk about his range to go along with his speed and why he can, you know, get sideline to sideline at that free safety position.
He has the speed and the length to cover a lot of the field. He has the vision to react to certain plays. If the right play is called, you know,
Right.
sometimes the coach put him in a bad position where he can't make the play, and that's not his fault.
Right. Yeah, the guy got good range. At 6'4", he can, you know, got the wingspan of a ball eagle out this bitch where them shits just go get the football. So as long as he's flying around back there, and he's a hitter too, so he can come up and put the boom on you as well too, man. I guess he get a lot of work having to tackle with Boom Jackson in that backfield as well, along with Brahim Cannon. two guys that'll bring the wood. So it's a tough kid back there. Terrell Williams at 6'4". All right, K Flock, number 7, 6'3", 201 pounds at the cornerback position with 7 picks right now. Starting to see these Vikings popping up all over the place when it comes down to stats right now. Look like they got themselves a corner they can rely on with 7 picks on the season right now.
Hollywood's back.
Caden Stearns, this guy name is always on this list, always getting INTs, always play well for that no-fly zone defense in Denver.
No-fly zone.
These guys are undefeated, and they're there for a reason right now. Benji Island right now, 5. We got the Island brothers. One is over there in Arizona, the other one's in Washington. Why is he playing well right now?
He's feeding off the rest of the team. You know, this football team defense is very hungry, ball hungry. They attack the ball in the air, and luckily they've been able to catch the balls instead of just knocking them down.
Yes, sir. We got a whole bunch of 5s. Let's go to the AFC, make sure we're not missing a name that we didn't see. Steiner. Donovan Steiner with 5 picks for the Jaguars right now. Why does these Ravens go to the Jacksonville Jaguars and continue their career there and still play at a high level? They finally got them another safety to go along with who they already had over there, but this time this kid has 5 picks from the strong safety position. Donovan Steiner, shout out to him. I like Alexander Cameron. He's looking like he wants to be the #1 corner for the Cincinnati Bengals. He got me in the game earlier today with a pick, so he's balling right now. Trill Williams always in the building. Damian Major, another name we got to pay attention to, 6'2", 295 pounds. This is a safety that has to play back deep because of his size, and he has 5 picks to go along with Caden Stearns' 6. Again, they just add pieces to that no-fly zone, and they continue to play at a high level. There we go, Bynum Wilson. You got Terrell Williams. All right, so we didn't see Derek Foster right now. So why are both of your safeties out here dominating the backside right now? No homo. They're not allowing shit deep, seems like, right now. They picking things off. How do they work as a tandem now that you move Terrell back to the free safety and have him playing strictly free safety along with Derek Foster?
They both keep their eyes at the line of scrimmage. You know, they're not sitting on their heels. They're actually on their tippy toes, and they just reacting and feeding off the corners. If the corners give them communication or giving them the signal that they're letting them go, then they'll pick them up.
No doubt. Taylor Lowry with 6 picks. It's safe to say he's the #1 corner, but they brought in Carlton Davis over there. They brought in a veteran. But I still think Terrell Lowry is the guy over here. I think it's his defensive back room right now with Davis over there to guide him. But I think he's still the guy over there. Would you agree or disagree?
I agree. Taylor Lowry is definitely a focal point on this defense when you're playing against him.
All right, so our next 2 guys come from Tampa Bay. Sean Murphy-Bunting, we've been seeing him do it his entire career. And then you got Spike Hilton, who's actually making a name for himself at that slot or that outside corner. He could do a little bit of both right now. He's playing pretty well right now on the outside. So they're your guys. I'm not going to go no further than 5 guys.
He's been targeted a lot because he's 5'10". And,
yes, sir.
He's been making teams pay for that.
Right, and it's like, go ahead and try that 5'10" kid. I mean, I felt that same thing with AI over there. 5'10", little guys targeting him all crazy. And go ahead and try him if you want to. These guys are different. They got bunnies. They bounce. They do everything they're supposed to do. And Spike is making a name for himself. Because he could actually play the outside corner. He could start #1 or 2 corner for this team at any moment and still play at the same level he's playing right now, although they move him around a lot. All right, so now we get off of that. Let's get back to the NFL. Let's keep looking at the defensive stats. Go over here and look at deflections and see who's batting things down more than anybody right now. And here we go. Kerry Vincent doesn't have an interception on the season, but he does have 8 bat downs right now. How does that happen?
He's going up and swatting it instead of catching it. I think he's more focused on maybe tip drilling,
making the play no matter what.
Yeah, making the play and tipping it up for his for one of his teammates instead of making the play for himself. They're more of a team defense over there in Denver, and that's why it's called the no-fly zone.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Trayvon Diggs, though, here we go. Season 6 for him. He has 6 deflections. He's been doing that a lot. Get a lot of deflections right now. Trayvon. All right, so we saw some special shit out of him year 1 and 2. Seemed like he got quiet. But is he still one of the top corners in y'all division?
Yeah, he's one of the corners in our division.
Is he one of the top corners in your division? I said, yeah, he's one of the
Yeah,
corners in our
he's
division.
one of the corners in our division.
Okay, we're talking like that. We got a middle linebacker that's on this list with 6 deflections right now with Ray Lewis the second right now, baby murderer. Then you got Jalen Ramsey who's still playing at a high level as well. Dory Jackson left Giants and he's now a Falcon with 5 of them things. And you could just go through the list. Nothing but fives going around right now. Who is knocking heads off of running backs and quarterbacks right now? I mean, I'm tired of Isaiah Simmons. How many times are we going to see this guy? He has 3 forced fumbles this year. I think this is a part of his game that we didn't see in a while, for a while for this kid. And he's starting to cause turnovers no matter what. Like, now he only had 1 interception in 7 games. That's a little crazy. We used to seeing him with damn near double digits at this point right now. But the fact that he got 3 forced fumbles shows that he's starting to take, like, he made a decision to this year, I'm attacking running backs. You give your guy the ball, I'm knocking heads off. He got 3 of them things right now. Montez Sweat, is this technique the reason why he got 2 forced fumbles? Is this stripping the ball when you get to the quarterback?
Yeah, he's definitely
Okay.
coming out the blind side, hitting quarterbacks in their back.
All right, so Roy Farley got
Lawrence Taylor effect.
Yeah, that Lawrence Taylor effect right there. Steve Israel, the young rookie diaper dandy, #1 pick of the draft with 2 forced fumbles as well. He's doing the same thing, getting to the quarterback. Got 5 sacks on the year right now. Only 1 pick though, 6 sacks on the year right now from the slot corner right now. They haven't unlocked him yet to let him play outside right now. He's doing a bunch of slot things for this team right now, and 2 forced fumbles and 6 sacks shows a lot right there. So they give you stats. That's what we're talking about. I don't know if that Lions and Eagles game has kicked off yet. We did say we will wait on that. My boy Antonio job situation is a little tough for him, so we told him, we will hold the league for him to play his game. On to the schedule now. Let's see if they are locked into this game or if they're even playing it. I did see Antonio pop up on the screen on the broadcast, so I know I don't know if he's around. They didn't start playing right now, so hopefully let's see what's going on. What time is it? We're way after the time we're supposed to play. So Antonio, if you're still watching, I need to know what's going on. Or Rob, what happened with this game? Are we giving a fair sim? Force win is already 10:20. I thought y'all was supposed to be playing at 9. So let's figure out what that's going on before we advance to the next week, and then we'll be back after the next week's advance. And here's the franchise guru. You already know how we do it. Hitter in the building. Holla at us.